6. No se te olvide votar Gilberto González por Cuerpo Gobernante. ¡Viva la revolución! ¡Viva Ray Franz!
Hello guys, Gilbert with JW Crisis here. Hey, we're going to talk now about the 2016 yearbook of Jehovah's Witnesses. And let me put that over here. Just being a good little Jehovah's Witness. And 2016 yearbook. Let's get to the point, and we'll talk about the rest later. Need graders. What is that? Well, that's a phrase that comes on some page, I think towards the end, 162 of the yearbook. Forgive me, I have a cold. And this guy here, Lothar Meehank or whatever, he's looks like a branch overseer. And he says, need graders play an important role in countries like ours. So it says preaching here is a feast. In recent years, growing numbers of witnesses from around the globe have moved to Indonesia. Need graders play an important role in countries like ours. They bring experience, maturity, and enthusiasm to their congregation, and they help to build greater appreciation for the worldwide brotherhood. What motivated them to move, and how have things worked out for them? Consider some of the comments. Now here, there's a new word, need graders. It reminds me of a sect of Jehovah's Witnesses, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. They call themselves Faith Sons. We're Faith Sons! Stupid. Who talks like that? You see, this is not normal English. Nobody says I'm a need graders. It doesn't make sense. But it's a title. So by talking to individuals, we believe this is another way to give somebody a title. Kind of like at work, you say, hey boss, can I get a raise? You go, no, you can't get a raise. We'll give you a title. We'll call you need graders. Sell your house and go to Indonesia and take America, the American religion, to Indonesia. The American know-how of how you do things in the organization and implement it in Indonesia. And we're not going to pay you for it because you're in need graders. If you were a missionary, you'd get a stipend. If you were a circuit overseer, you get a stipend. If you were MTS graduate, you might get a stipend. You know, so if you had a title. So if we give you a new title, the need graders, well, guess what? You can go, and like you see here, Jason and Casey Gibbs from the United States, they studied the population to publisher ratios in the yearbook and discovered that Indonesia has one of the highest ratios in the world. So what do? They probably sold their home, cashed in their 401ks, and head on down to Indonesia. Hey, nothing wrong with that. If you want to use your money, live your life that way, all the power to you. But this is just another example how Watchtower doesn't even pay back the people. How they pay them back? Just give them a special title. Doesn't even pay back the people who invest heavily into their organizations. Now, the next one is Stewart and Mandy Williams, a middle-aged couple from Australia. We wanted to meet people thirsting for the truth. And, you know, they went to East Java. They met hundreds of English-speaking university students who eagerly listened to the good news. And they love the jw.org website. The preaching work here is awesome. Notice that they're a middle-aged couple from Australia, probably also turned in their retirement equivalent of 401k in the United States. They probably sold their home, and they went and made their home over there. Fine, go ahead and do it. But are you getting compensated for it? No, because you're a needs greeter. Another one is Takahiro and Mari Akiyama. There again. And then Dan and Janine Moore. They're in their late 50s, probably from the United States. Misha and Krishna Byrnes came as missionaries in 2009 and now serve in the traveling work. Well, these people get paid. But if you see the next pictures, you see the pictures of them. And what they're trying to suggest, Watchtower, is, hey, listen, if you are in your retirement years, give everything up and go serve and become a need greeters and pay for it all, because Watchtower is not going to subsidize you. And so, this is, again, an insult to Jesus Christ, where he says the worker is deserving of his wage. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. But here's another point I want to bring out, is that these names, people use these names like Faith Sons, need greeters, and so forth. Whenever you see people have, like, I'm a circuit overseer, district overseer, I don't know, I become very suspicious of it. Most of you guys know that I'm the president and founding member of NOCACA, the National Organization of Congregations Against Cult Abuse. I mean, really, it's the same old thing over and over again. People give themselves these special titles, and they think that because they have a special title, somehow they're closer to God. No, these special titles only tie you to an organization. And instead of letting your light shine, you you shine the light of Watchtower. And I don't know, I just can't be part of it. And I just find it very interesting that they're using this phrase, need graders, and it's disingenuous. I mean, it's that's just my 2 cents. I want to talk about a couple of other things about the 2016 yearbooks. Bear with me while I pull up the slides. Okay, here's some more information from the yearbook, and I just they say here the light keeps getting brighter because the true worshipers acknowledge that Jehovah is a source of spiritual light, and they're saying that look what's happened since 2012. Mordecai and Esther divide the spoil. And when the seventh world power emerged, toes of the image of Nebuchadnezzar's dream. And all these are new refinements. Oh, wow. 2013, we got new refinements of the faithful discreet slave, the evil slave, the chosen ones, the great tribulation, the illustration of the wheat and the weeds when Jesus comes. We were wrong all these times, and so we have to change it. And then 2014, it says here, appointment of elders, Michelle servants, another refinement, marriage and the resurrection, and then the two-witness rule, the Gog and Magog in 2015, the types and the antitypes. But I mentioned this because if you look at this Bible text here, 2 Corinthians 2:2, it says, "And so I, when I came to you, brothers, did not come with an extravagance of speech or of wisdom declaring the sacred secret of God to you. For I decided not to know anything among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. And I came to you in weakness and in fear and with much trembling. And my speech and what I preached were not with persuasive words of wisdom, but with a demonstration of spirit and power, that your faith might be not in the men's wisdom, but in God's power." But did you notice that it says, "For I decided not to know anything among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified"? So this is the point. Watchtower, your yearbook shows that what complete asses you are. You are complete fools, and I'm sorry, the word ass is in the Bible. You are she asses. You guys are jawbones of ass. Those are words in the Bible, so I can use them. And because here in the year 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, it shows that the light is getting brighter. No, what it shows is that St. Paul, he had all the information. He knew it all, right? Everything was revealed to him. He was the apostle to the nations. And what? He only came to people talking about Jesus Christ and Him crucified. That's it. Jesus, and that Jesus died for us. A simple message. A simple message of when he wrote to Timothy in the first letter, he wrote about him being grateful to Jesus, and then the second letter he wrote about him being grateful to the Father. Both times, it's not a coincidence they use the word grateful. St. Paul used a simple teaching, and all of the people in the congregations that were trying to make names for themselves were making complete fools of themselves by talking with persuasion and words of wisdom and trying to say, oh, what does the head covering mean? Or what is the illustration of Gog? Or, what is the two-witness rule? Or what is, the toes of the statue? I mean, you make complete fools of yourself. So, I don't want to live my life like that. I want to be the antithesis of Watchtower. I don't want to discuss those things. I want to talk about the simplicity of Jesus Christ, because whenever you go and start talking about all the things that we just saw from 2012 just to 2015, it goes to show what complete morons and asses you guys are. She asses, because that's the word in the Bible. And so don't even go there, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't even fight about all the things that are not important. Just talk about the teachings of Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, and that he died for our sins. There's nothing else. If it was good enough for St. Paul to just do that, then why shouldn't it be good enough for us? Now, if you go on and we go further to the next to the next page. You see these sisters and brothers? This woman is asleep at the convention. You think she cares about the two-witness rule? You think she can explain to you what the toes are in the statue? Do you think she knows what the types and the anti-types are? Do you think she knows what the new light is? No, everybody there has absolutely no idea of what the hell you're talking about, Watchtower. And that's just the truth. You go to any congregation, we already know all the videos. They're all out. None of the elders know what's happening in the world of Jehovah's Witnesses. Apostates are more informed with the world of Jehovah's Witnesses than the actual Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's go on to the next page. The legal report. It talks about Russia. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I'm for any religion being in any country. Heck, even if it's something like Scientology or Jehovah's Witnesses. But, if Russia wants to do what they do, they can do what they do. But on the legal report in the yearbook, there's no mention of all the child molestation cases. I wonder why. Taxation. Oh my God. Here's a good one. In Sweden, the authorities assert that Bethel is a commercial business employing Bethelites and not a religious community and special full-time ministers. The state has assessed tens of thousands of euros in employer-employee taxes against Bethel and individual Bethelites. To address this issue, witnesses in Sweden have filed complaints in domestic courts and have submitted 6 separate applications to the ECHR. Okay, look, this is just my opinion. Jesus says, give to Caesar what rightfully belongs to Caesar. And Jesus also said that the prince doesn't need to pay the tax. But he went and the fish had 2 coins. One for Peter, one for Jesus. Just pay the tax. What the hell's so wrong about just saying, hey, you know what? We're going to print less magazines, and we're going to charge $2, $3 for the magazine. We're going to make them high-quality magazines. So let's just charge $5. And there's going to be sales tax. The government gets their money. There's retirement benefits for those that are working volunteers. So when they leave, at least they leave with some money. A good retirement benefit because every week there was money going into the retirement account. What the hell is so wrong about that, man? Why can't you just pay your damn taxes, Watchtower? You're so hell-bent on not paying taxes that, you actually insult Jesus Christ because he tells you to pay taxes. If they want taxes, give it to them. Incorporate it in the price of magazines. You'll be saving also trees because you'll be printing less magazines. Okay, on the next one. Neutrality and conscious objection. Look at that. 18,000 Jehovah's Witness men have been imprisoned. Why? Because of busybodies. And if you look in the Bible and you type in the word busybody, in the Jehovah's Witness Bible, Newer Translation 84, busybody is linked to murderers. What the hell does 7 men out of Brooklyn, New York have telling 18,000 kids to go to jail in Korea? What the hell business do you have with the people in Korea? And really, don't you remember when Jesus was on earth, he said, the one man who said, Jesus, I give orders to my men, and I tell them to do something and they do it. Just give the order and my daughter will be healed. And Jesus says that in all of Israel, there was not a man with more faith. And he was a military man. And the very first person, Cornelius, was in the military as well. So what the hell business, Watchtower, do you have dictating thousands of miles away that young men and or women go to jail because of your busybodiness? And in busybody in the Bible, you guys are linked to murderers and also idolaters. The next one is government discrimination. Oh, boo-hoo me. At the very end, it says, at times our obedience to these commands bring us in conflict with government authorities who may misunderstand our position. No, you see, on the blood issue right there, the government understands the blood issue. The government has read Matthew 12. The government has read Luke 14. Jesus Christ broke one of the 10 commandments. Jesus Christ broke the law, and he healed somebody. He saved a life. But you guys are worried about breaking a commandment that's not even one of the 10. I mean, you guys would rather not break the commandment and let a man die. I mean, and that's, I don't want to beat a dead horse. We all know that. But this thing at the very end is a feel sorry. Oh, feel sorry for us. They don't understand. They misunderstand our position. No, they understand very well your position. The last one here, poor girl. This woman, she was told, why don't you stop studying for just 3 years and concentrate on your career? After that, you can start studying again. The woman replied, I have waited 24 years to find Jehovah. Why would I put off learning about him for another 3 years? Now notice that she didn't wait 24 years to find Jesus. Most people find Jesus. When I was in jail, I found Jesus, right? You're like, hey, there was an earthquake, and there's Jesus, okay? We find Jesus, right? In all moments in our lives. But she didn't find Jesus. She finds Jehovah. And she puts off learning and providing for her family. Hey, listen, girl, talk to us in another 20 years when you don't have a home. That leads me to that. And let me just clip onto the next section here. Okay, guys, I saved the best for last, and that's the intro. The intro of the yearbook, where it says, a letter from the governing body. And notice there, in the whole letter, it talks about jw.org, talks about a lot of things. But what it doesn't mention in the whole letter is Jesus Christ. And it talks about the conventions, but it doesn't even mention Jesus about the former convention. It talks about JW broadcasting and all the different languages, 70 languages. But guess what? Again, there's no mention of Jesus Christ. There's new songs that they say are like a hug from Jehovah, but none of the songs praise Jesus. Oh my God. And then it talks about, and then it pitches the congregation making good use of the public witnessing cards. I mean, Jehovah's Witnesses, your governing body writes you a letter once a year. And then you see right there the picture of Jesus, supposed to be Jesus with the lamb. And so we encourage all of you to imitate Jehovah by welcoming returning ones warmly. Well, first of all, it's Jesus is the one that's a great shepherd. Like I said I showed you in the sleight of hand tricks that Jehovah's Witnesses use in the Return to Jehovah brochure. And right there, just that phrase right there, to imitate Jehovah by welcoming returning ones. No, Jesus is the great shepherd. And then at the very end, the governing body always ends that we love you very much. But they never even end the letter like any of the apostles praising Jesus. That tells you everything you need to know. From the abundance of the heart spoke the mouth, and the governing body wrote to you and did not mention Jesus. But at the very end, it says here, in my May 2016 service report, these are the new time cards, placements, printed and electronic. I guess so if I email you something like a video for jw.org, I can count that. Video showings. Wow. Now the last one shows 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses in the United States of America, 1,200,000. I think what I did on that one, on 1,200,000, is I brought that up because in a revolution, in order for there to be change in a revolution like the American Revolutionary War, whether it be Cuba or Hitler or Stalin or any kind of revolution, a lot of people say that only 7% of the population, 7% of the population need to start, is all you need to start a revolution. That means that in order for there to be change in Watchtower, you would need about 84,000 Jehovah's Witnesses that are willing to go to the meetings, be in the meetings, and effect necessary change. Because it really doesn't matter what they do in Vanuatu or Venezuela or the Virgin Islands. It's all in the Americas. Everything comes out of the United States. And so, I can run for governing body. People can do a vast apostate army, and they can do protests. All that stuff is fine and good. YouTube videos, all the stuff that's going to be coming is great. But the problem I don't see the effective change is the people leave the organization. And so you're not going to have 7% of the Jehovah's Witness body in the United States stand up in defiance to the governing body. But the numbers show that, if you had even 50,000 Jehovah's Witnesses in the United States that could stand up and effectively fight Watchtower with money, with ad campaigns, and just brutally disrupt their preaching campaign in city after city after city, then you could affect change. And a friend of mine, we call it the Trinity of Change. If only 3 things can be accomplished, if you can get rid of the blood policy, if you can get rid of the pedophile protection policy, and if you can get rid of the shunning policy, which causes suicides amongst young teenagers and messes up their lives, man. It messes up the lives of young teenagers. If you can get rid of those three things, then Jehovah's Witnesses just become like any other religion. It's just like another religion, and it doesn't become a dangerous religion. So if they want to believe in the year 20 whatever, the end's going to come, if they want to be an end of time religion, let them. But there's really I may be wrong, but I'm thinking just those three things need to change. If those three things change in the Jehovah's Witness religion, then you leave this earth a safer place. Naturally, some other freak religion will rise and institute a no blood shunning and pedophile policy. But in the meantime, that's what I think needs to happen. And I don't foresee change until a significant amount of people are willing to not just make YouTube videos, but to actively work the streets, actively march like Martin Luther King, actively put their money where their mouth is, in supporting ad campaigns, and actively trying to take back their city and their town. And it can happen. Even if you just think in your congregation, if you have a one Kingdom Hall and it's only 100 publishers are there, if only 5%, that means only 5 people. 5 people can really disrupt the inner workings of a small congregation. So it's a doable number. How it would be organized, I don't know. I don't know. But in order for there to be change according to the number of the United States of America, I really think anywhere between 50 to 80,000 people would need to mobilize. They would need to be actively involved in a campaign against Watchtower, petitioning the government, petitioning the media, and petitioning and fighting in their respective cities. And then you can see the trinity of change. And it's that trinity of change that I call it. It's something I came up with, trinity of change. Because Jehovah's Witnesses don't like Trinity. But if those three things were done, it would just make the Jehovah's Witness a safer place for our posterity. And that's something that I want to do before I die. So I'll talk to you soon. How could I forget this? How do Jehovah's people feel about this new spiritual provision? Here are just a few of the many expressions of appreciation. This is one of the happiest evenings in my life. Tonight, my wife and I watched the May 2015 program on JW Broadcasting, and my happiness cannot be described in words. This is one of the most precious gifts I have ever received from Jehovah. We thank the governing body and all the brothers and sisters who work so hard on this wonderful spiritual provision. Yes, it is even greater than the gift of Jesus Christ. I am not grateful to Jesus. I am not grateful to my Lord and Savior. I'm grateful to the governing body. GG for GB 2016.